Center for Transparency Advocacy don chook mouth for the just concluded election wey shele for Edo State on the 21st September 2024.
The 2024 Edo State gubernatorial election, the first in the round of off-cycle election 2024, held on 21st September 2024.
Faith Nwandishi, wey be the CEO of Center for Transparency Advocacy, yarn tori pipo during the talk session wey be press briefing of the different reports wey dem receive from election wey shele for 21st September. She tok say dem receive reports of violence, incidents of hate speech by gladiators from across the major political parties, and also reports of policemen wey dem kpai.
The election was preceded by reports of violence, incidents of hate speech by gladiators from across the major political parties. In addition, there was a report of the killing of a policeman, which reflects our initial complaints on heightened tension and fear of possible violence.
The CEO of CTA yarn tori pipo say dem dey accredited by INEC to monitor any katakata for the election wey shele across all the 18 local government areas of Edo State.
The Center for Transparency Advocacy was duly accredited by the Independent National Electoral Commission as a domestic observer group for the September election. The CTA dutifully observed this election and hereby sent our reports as follows.
She still tok say,
according to the reports from our observers, security personnel typically arrive early at the voting places, except in few instances like in Ward 7, Unit 29, with 238 registered voters in a local government that had no security at all. The security personnel behaved professionally, particularly when it came to upholding law and order. However, we found that the security personnel, paid blind eye to cases where vote buying were ongoing. Overall, poor voter turnout was reported by observers, raised fears of insecurity, dashed expectations, and all others. Inadequate voter education and the heavy downpour in the state were all connected to the indifference among voters. In our elections, vote buying is fast becoming a norm that involves majority of political parties and their operatives. In this Edo gubernatorial election, it was not different. According to our observers, vote buying and selling were rampant, with the main parties inventing vote buying plans and strategies to elude law enforcement. Clear examples of vote buying were observed in Ward 6, Unit 7, Ikoboka local government area, where a party agent was arrested by the EFCC operatives with a cache of cash meant for vote buying. Also in Ward 1, Unit 5, Eastern Northeast local government, a party loyalist was recorded to have publicly announced the payment of 20,000 naira to any voter who votes for their party's candidate.
In conclusion, Mrs. Faith Nwandishi tok say,
INEC must continue to show transparency in the electoral process. INEC should retain the logistical strategies that worked well during this election, especially the early deployment of materials 24 hours prior to election day in hard-to-reach areas. There's also the need for INEC to increase the recruitment of PWDs, sign language interpreters, and also carry out proper delimitation of polling units so as to evenly distribute PWDs to disability-friendly polling units. Citizens are enjoined to take advantage of the newly created polling units and transfer to vote in less congested polling units in future elections. Political parties should at all times mobilize voters instead of waiting to buy votes on election day. This could also reduce voter apathy as witnessed in this election. Security agents should always be well versed in the function of election observers. In conclusion, we know the improvements in the general conduct of the election by INEC. We hope that the peaceful atmosphere witnessed will be sustained as we look forward to the Ondo governorship election and other off-cycle elections. By the time INEC declares the result of this election, we hope that one or two lessons we have learned will put it into achieving a better election come November when the Ondo election will hold.
From Benin City, na Victoria Obu dey give una dis story from GTV Nigeria.